I've lost over $100,000 building businesses in Hong Kong. Watch this and I'll show you the 3 biggest mistakes that I made and all the things we are doing at DOP to make sure we don't pay the same price again. This is about my biggest mistakes in starting businesses in Hong Kong. I've been in Hong Kong for over a decade now, been a solo entrepreneur, a freelancer, an investor in F&B, and also a co-founder in fitness. Some went well, some clearly did not. Mistake number 1, not doing my due diligence. Investing in vibes, not vehicles. I put money into a business that I didn't understand and an industry that I don't live and breathe. In 2019, I invested $40,000 into an F&B business in Hong Kong. My experience in F&B at that point, basically washing dishes and pouring pints in my parents' Chinese restaurant when I was 16. A mentor of mine, who is actually an investor, told me, no edge, no deal. If you can't explain your edge, you can't understand the business, how it operates, and the pathway to profitability, no deal. Do not invest. Very clear instructions. But at the time, my ego liked the idea of being a business owner, and I went ahead with the deal anyways. I went into it because I liked one of the co-founders, one of 8 founders actually, and went in based on a feeling, based on a vibe, rather than on actual practical information. And that was my own fault, not doing the due diligence. Well, as you can guess, 2 years later, that business did not survive. F&B in Hong Kong is tough. You're running on paper-thin margins. Landlords don't give a shit about your dreams. Work ethic isn't the issue, delusion is. Thinking that you're gonna pull in more cash than what is out there in the market is the problem. Most people work on businesses that they don't understand in the first place. And that's what happened to this business. Poor management of cash flow, not understanding the industry, and not having a clear direction is what led to the downfall of that F&B business. My own poor due diligence cost me a lot of money. We didn't launch DOP without a proof of concept. Our MVP was the Run Club, doing 3 runs a week, testing if we could build a community. And from that, we tested with 36 weeks of smaller group classes, which led into the opportunity of taking this space, which reiterates the point for us: if you can't understand the market, the industry, or how it operates, do not get involved. Do your due diligence and build a proof of concept first. Test small, fail quick, and only work with those who are obsessed with winning. Mistake number 2 is working with the wrong people. I partnered with people that I barely knew and paid for it. In 2022, I invested $50,000 into a fitness concept. This was technically closer to my lane, as I've been in the fitness industry for about 9 years as a personal trainer, but I made one key mistake. I knew one of the founders quite well, and the 2 others not very well. In the build-out phase of the new project, everything was going really well. New equipment, new branding, everything was going smooth. But as launch came closer and stress became higher, you could really see people's priorities and what they valued in life. We didn't share the same visions, purpose, or values. I basically realized that I'd essentially married someone after one date. And soon after the business launched, I exited the business. I could see the direction that it was going and the headaches that were coming. And a few years later, that business closed. That was a very hard $50,000 pill to swallow. Throughout that same period, I was running a creative agency that was booming after the end of the pandemic. Because of the influx of the business, I hired a lot. I hired too fast, but I didn't hire the right people. You think it's just one underperformer, but that negativity spreads across the team and can affect the whole work culture. I should have instead slowed down the growth of the business, said no to some of the projects, and slowed down the hiring, and only brought the right people along the ride with me. I should have protected the culture. The difference with DOP is we started with long-standing friendships. I mean, we still get things wrong from time to time, but the baseline is I'd rather fix a process than a person. I first ever hired Vic. He started out as a core member running with us, interned with us for a few months, and when the time came to open our own space, it was a no-brainer. He embodies the values, the work ethic, the principles that we are as a brand, and all we had to do was just teach him some skills and experience, and off we went. We run a super lean team here. There's only 4 of us coaching. Also Hans and Renel doing all the content, and we'll keep it like that until we find people who are more aligned to what our core beliefs are. We will not sacrifice our culture here. So, date before you marry and protect culture at all costs. Business is all about people. We're in the people business. Mistake number 3, mismanagement of cash flow. That's like building a beautiful machine without the fuel to run it. Cash to a business is essentially what the VO2 max is to an athlete. Sometimes it's not sexy, sometimes it's the aerobic, boring work, but it's the fuel to the engine. And that's what really is going to make the difference for a long-term sustainable business. Both the F&B business and the fitness concept that I had invested in before had real expensive fit outs. And that's understandable because it's the beginning of building out a project from ground zero. That part I expected, but what I didn't expect was managing the cash flow after. For both businesses who were majorly overstaffed at the beginning, our overheads were way too high. We didn't factor in a long enough runway for the bad months. So when those slow seasons hit, it hit hard and we didn't have the cash reserve needed to keep the business going. For both businesses, debt built up, and it was really hard to justify to an investor why they should give us money. And to be honest, I don't blame them. We didn't have a pathway to profitability. Both businesses weren't killed by one bad month. They were killed by poor overhead management, poor cash flow planning, and overly optimistic sales forecasts. That's what has led us here to run a lean team. We think about the tightest months and making sure we have enough capital to weather that storm or weather that quarter. It's to know that when the season is low, we can survive and protect the team at all costs. There are definitely some expansion moves that could be made sooner rather than later, but if it's going to cost the culture of the business and put us at risk, we're not doing it. So right now, we're staying lean on purpose. And when the time comes, we'll make the move. If your business can't survive a bad quarter, you don't have a business. You have a very expensive hobby. So stay lean, build a cash runway, and don't be overly optimistic in your cash flow forecast. So what does this mean for DOP and whatever you're building? Number one, only play in games that you understand, in industries that you know deeply or are willing to learn deeply about. We tested DOP as a run club before we did any of this. Proof of concept first, ego second. Number two, hire for attitude. Co-founders, staff, trainers, whatever you need in your business, hire for attitude. We'd rather move slower with the right people than faster with the wrong ones. And number three, cash is king. In a city as cutthroat as Hong Kong, landlords don't give a shit about your branding. Build a runway of cash so that your business can survive the bad months. These are the guidelines that we're using to build DOP into something much bigger. We're gonna keep showing you what it takes to grow this thing into a global brand, the wins, the losses, and everything in between. Let's grow this together.